Davis Museum, and I really appreciate you all coming, and thank you to Davis Lisboa for inviting me here. And I'm going to read from my new book today, and I would just like to do a short reading. To be blunt, things at Banff did not go well, though neither the sequence nor the scope of events. Let's take that over again. To be blunt, things at Banff did not go well, though neither the sequence nor the scope of events could have been predicted. My co-editor, who was my girlfriend at the time, was caught in bed with the gallery director. Because the gallery director was also in charge of the center's press, it was complicated. Processing this development proved a challenge. Instead of calling up maturity and strength and then moving on, like most people are able to do, it weighed on me. Of course, there are other ways to look at it. There always are. My therapist has suggested my issues with processing might owe as much to all the doting and preening those clerics lavished on me as a child. I don't subscribe to this notion, but it's worth mentioning. So thank you once again for being here for my short reading, and I invite you all to come out onto the street in Barcelona. We will be walking through the streets of Barcelona and doing some more readings. So please join us, and thank you again. One moonlit evening, my girlfriend and the gallery director had a row on the local ice skating pond. All the acrimony attracted the attention of either an elk or a mule deer, depending on whose account you accept. One thing led to another, and the gallery director slipped, fell, and cracked his head. When he came to 3.5 days later, he found that he had been airlifted to Calgary and assigned a bed at Foothills Hospital. Meanwhile, at the Banff Centre, backroom reproaches of indiscretion and toadyism were widespread, as were rumors of fluid buildup and memory loss. A lot of light was cast on the situation. There was some talk about optics. His contract was not renewed. The following year was hardly worth reporting on until I met an accomplished critic in Paris. He had been invited to curate the Taipei Biennial. Our meeting took place at the Café Beaubourg. He seemed kindly, if somewhat remote, more than a little bird-like. The thought that he would arrive on a transatlantic flight with his dog had not crossed my mind. He was at first beyond convincing of the impracticality, but my knowledge of both common law and the law of the wild held sway. The dog was kenneled, but we are now a full day behind schedule. We skipped the next day's breakfast, opting for a bagel and lox in the canoe. As luck would have it, I had accumulated a certain amount of wisdom about the natural care of people in such circumstances. Firstly, I used my own t-shirt and some particularly grained willow branches to jerry-rig a sling to hold the curator's delicate cargo. Secondly, I concocted a poultice composed of ribbed bog moss and pine needles and whey bread to soothe the pain and extract the contents of the grub-colored pustules that had erupted all over the afflicted area. I gently applied and removed the poultice every few hours. I made him infusions of spearmint and gooseberry leaves. When he needed to relieve himself, I helped him on and off with the sling. When the northern lights appeared, I dragged him out of the tent by his armpits until his head passed the tent awning. Within a few days, the swelling had subsided. He and his dog returned to Taiwan. I was sure my vigilance would garner me a special place at the BNL. But it seemed I had crossed the threshold of intimacy. My work was not selected.